You know what I'm so gosh darn sick of? People saying, I don't like deer meat. It's just so gamey. It's tough. Deer meat's nasty. Do you know how dumb that is? Deer meat is delicious, it's good for me, and it makes me strong. I can't tell you how many people I've heard say that deer meat's gamey, that it's tough, and that it's nasty. Let's start by dispelling a couple of these myths. Let's take gamey. Deer meat is only gamey because you don't know how to fix it. You don't know how to take care of it. That's why it's gamey. Deer meat is tough because you don't know how to cook it. And lastly, what was lastly? It's nasty. Oh, okay, deer meat's nasty. So you're eating a cow that wallers around in its own crap, like neck to neck with other cows pooping on each other. They're always covered in crap. And they eat their own boogers with their tongue, like they stick it up in one nostril and the other. It's disgusting. Cows are sick. Cows are so much nastier than deer. All deer eat is like clover and acorns and foliage, things like that out in the woods. It's so clean. It's beautiful. They're not nasty. It's not tough, and it's not gamey. It can be gamey. Cow can also be gamey. Tell you what, go out in the field, shoot you a cow in the butt cheek with the arrow and let it run around for 10 hours and die. Hack you a piece off of that, throw it in the frying pan and see how good it is. I'm going to tell you how to do this. I'm not a chef. Don't listen to me. Go watch a chef that'll tell you how to cook. I'm just going to give you my opinion on how to make dang good deer meat. And it's pretty stinking easy. Step 1, kill your deer as fast as you can. I understand sometimes you're going to hit them in the butt cheek. Sometimes you're going to spine shoot them. Their adrenaline's going to course through their veins, fill up their meat with adrenaline tasting blood. And there's not a lot you can do about that. Even so, I've ate deer that's been shot in spots, places like that, that turns out pretty good if you do the rest of the steps right. Obviously, try to kill it as fast as you can. Put it on the ground. Step 2, get the deer meat out of the deer ASAP. Don't waste no time. Don't let it sit out there on a beautiful September day and stew in the sun and turn into a pile of stink. Get that deer meat out of it. Pronto. Step 3, put that deer meat in a cooler. What I like to do is take my cooler, I put some ice in it. I have a 40 or 45 quart grizzly. Ice in the bottom, I put my deer meat in, ice on top. I shut the cooler, seal it. What that does is it ages the deer meat, lets all that nasty crap run out of it and out. Step 4, open the drain plug on your cooler and let all that crap run out of it. You just let the crap run out and then it'll make it great. Step 5, depending on how nice your cooler is, how well it can hold ice, what time of the year it is, go out to your cooler maybe once or twice a day, open it up, see how much ice you got in there. You do not want to let that in there get down to bacteria growing temperatures, because as soon as it does, it's going to grow on it like crazy and it's going to make it taste like crap. Keep it iced down, keep it cool. Don't open that drain plug all the way up where bugs and garbage can crawl in there. I like to crack mine. I literally crack it an 1/8 inch, that way it'll just kind of drip. Step 6, you want to give that deer meat about anywhere from 2, I usually just stick to like 3 or 4 days. That's just what I do. I don't know if it's better if you go longer. I just know that somewhere between 2 and 5 days for me is delicious and makes it perfect. Step 7, take your deer meat and then you're going to process it. On this one, I'm just going to talk about back straps because it's everybody's favorite. You can do it with the rest of it and it's not going to be bad. Back straps are usually one of the tastier items out of a deer. We'll just go straight into cooking this thing now. You're going to lay it down on your cutting board. If you flip it up on its end to where the meat part's sticking up and the sinew is down, you cut down to it until you hit that sinew. You don't go through it. Then I like to flip it over and push that knife down the sinew. It gets a big chunk of it off almost immediately. It makes cleaning the rest of it up pretty easy. All that silver skin on that deer meat needs to come off. It's not hard, especially if you got a sharp knife. You just lay it up on its side, slice off the little pieces of sinew, silver skin, tendons, all that kind of stuff. Get it off of there. So now you should be left with a perfectly clean piece of backstrap. Step 8, take that backstrap, and here's where a lot of people go wrong. They come up and they're cutting these little tiny pathetic steaks that's like a 1/2 inch thick. That's terrible. If you want to make jerky, make jerky. Don't make a steak into a piece of jerky, then complain that it's tough. I like to come out a little farther and make mine about 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick. So you've got like a perfect medallion, almost exactly like a fillet out of a beef. About that big around and about that thick, big old juicy thick steak. Step 9. Season them babies up. Load them up both sides, salt and pepper. That's usually all I use. I dash it on the cutting board or whatever I'm doing it on, and I roll that steak up on its edge across the seasoning. Season it all the way around. 10. This stuff isn't 100% necessary. Some people don't like the taste of rosemary. Some people do. Some people don't like the taste of garlic. Some people do. And you don't really have to do the butter either. It just makes it better. For me, that's my favorite way to eat a steak. So on this one, all you're gonna do, take a clove of garlic, mince it up nice and fine. Take one little sprig of rosemary. You can get it at Kroger, Walmart, any of the grocery stores. Step 11. Get your cast iron pan, put it on the burner. I turn it up to about, on my stove, 2 or 3, which is like a 2 or 3 is almost like a straight medium. Gets that pan flaming hot. Put a little bit of olive oil. If you use the regular olive oil, it'll smoke up heck and kind of give it a little bit of a weird taste. So I use the light olive oil. It's got a better smoke point. Sprinkle a little bit of that in the pan. It'll flare out into the bottom of the pan. Once it gets up to temperature, take your steaks, place them in the pan. 2 minutes on this side, 2 minutes on this side, and I grab them with tongs, roll it up on its edge, and I rotate it like that and get all the big thick edges that we made cooked on it as well. Step 12. You don't have to do this. I like it. I think it makes them absolutely delicious, like a steakhouse. All you're gonna do is take you a tablespoon or so, maybe 2 of butter, throw it over there in the edge of the pan. While it's over there simmering down and melting, take your garlic and your rosemary, flop it in there right with that butter, and it's gonna start like sizzling, making this delicious sauce pretty much in the edge of your pan. I take a big tablespoon, I turn my pan up on its side, and I start scooping that stuff and dumping it on the steaks one at a time, just throwing it on them. Flip the steaks, just let them soak all in that stuff. And by that point, I've already got my stove turned off. As soon as the butter melts and my garlic kind of changes color a little bit and gets a little darker, after I make it to that point, I throw them on a plate, set them down where I'm gonna eat them, give them like a minute or 2. You sit down to eat them, cut into that delicious steak. Get that side view of that steak. I strongly urge you to try eating your deer steak at least medium. If you can handle a little bit of pink, go for medium. If you gotta have a little more doneness than that, then stick to beef, honey. That is how I cook my deer steaks. I've made them for other people like that. People that said, deer steak's so gamey. Things like that, and they love it. It's really all I got for you. Deer steak's not bad. Deer meat is not bad. Make it good. The main thing is let that meat sit in that cooler on ice for about 3 days. That's how I cook my deer steaks. You should try it. They're way better that way, and I think you'll like it. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, then like it and click that little subscribe button. I might make you a couple more of them. Thanks for watching, you guys. I love you. God bless you. I'm going home.